Hello people, I'm Lewis Mitchell and welcome to Randomopolis. So this video is going to be a video on the revised rules for Randomopolis, and these rules will be effective from when set 2 is released. So, okay, my boys are being a bit crazy today, so I'm going to try and do this video with as little interruptions as possible. So let's just get into this. Okay, so Randomopolis rules. Both players begin with equal sized decks. 30 cards is recommended for both players. So then you start off with, each player will start off with 5 hood counters and 8 sweet counters. Okay, so the aim of the game is to basically have it so the other player cannot defend their hoods. So you can either win the game by taking all of the other players' hood counters, or by making it so they can't defend their hood counters. So each player will get 5 hood counters to defend and 8 sweet counters to pay for characters and cards to play. Okay, so see who is player 1 with a dice check or rock, paper, scissors or something. So whoever wins the dice check or rock, paper, scissors, they automatically become player 1. So now you guys will shuffle your decks and do all the cutting you want, and then I mean by cutting each other's decks and then draw 5 cards to your hand from your deck, and then we now go into player 1's placing stage. So from the cards in your hand, you can place these cards by paying their sweet value. Okay, so it says to place cards on the battleground, you must pay its sweet value to the other player. So the sweet value is shown underneath the card name. So the sweet value I've shown in a lot of cards. Okay, let me just come out of this so I can get an example card for you guys. So there we go, that'll do. So, oh look, you've got a sneak peek at an artwork I'm actually working on. So yeah, so the sweet value is the 4 black spots underneath the card's name. Okay, so that means that you have to pay that amount of sweets to the other player. So in order to play this card, Wex, you would have to play the other player 4 sweets. So then if you start with 8 and you pay this, then the other player would have 12 sweets and you would only have 4. So that's what that means. So let me just get back to the rules. Sorry guys. Right. So yeah, to place cards, you pay its sweet value to the other player. Sweets shown underneath the card name. You may place cards face up, which means they're active, so with the art showing, or face down, which means they're inactive, so that's with the back of the card showing. When cards are active, you can use their ability once per turn in any of the stages of play. Okay, so some cards will have abilities. Some cards have effective immediately abilities, and they'll tell you when you can and can't play that ability. Like the Killer Ninja, that's ability reads. I've got the card right here. Hold on, let me just grab that for you guys. Oh, sorry, people. It's bloody not coming out of its box. Okay. Well, that's the North boss. I don't want that. I want the Killer Ninja. Okay, so the Killer Ninja's ability. So this is an effective immediately ability. Okay, you can't choose when to play this ability if you play this card. So it says if this card is attacked while it is inactive, turn it over and instantly kill the character that attacked it. So in order to use that ability, when you pay for it to go onto the battleground, you have to place it inactive. So then it's if the other player attacks it or not. So, where was I? Yeah, so I got here, didn't I? When cards are, oh sorry, that's my phone. When cards are active, you can use their ability once per turn in any of the stages of play. Okay, so then it goes to the player 2's placing stage, and they can do everything that player 1 has just done in their placing stage. But player 2 now will have more sweets because player 1 would have paid for their characters to be placed onto the battleground. So now player 2 will have more sweets to counteract what player 1 has put down. So then we go to, after the placing stage, we go to the fighting stage. So we start off with player 1's fighting stage. So use your self-worth or might to defeat the other player's characters. To do this, declare if you are using your self-worth or might, and your chosen stat must be equal to or greater than that of the other player's character. So basically, when you are fighting, you can use your self-worth or might. So if you say you use your self-worth to attack another character, you can only use your self-worth to attack the other character's self-worth. So your self-worth has to be the same as or greater than the other character's self-worth in order to defeat it. And if it's not, then it has no effect at all. And that's the same with might as well. If you use might, your might has to be the same or greater than the card that you are attacking. If it's not, it has no effect. So, alright. Characters can only attack once per turn. That's pretty standard. I don't need to explain that. And X stats can only be attacked by other X stats. This is another thing with X stats as well, by the way. If you have an X self-worth and then the other player has an X might, X self-worth can attack X might and X might can attack X self-worth. So basically, if a card has an X on it, it doesn't matter if it's in self-worth or might, they can attack each other. And it's basically the first one to attack the other one is the one that will automatically win. So X's can beat X's no matter where they are, if they are self-worth or might. Okay, so then player 2's fighting stage, so it's the same as player 1's. And then we have the takeover stage. So both players check the other player's battleground. If they have no active characters, you get to take one of their hoods. So basically, after you guys have both fought each other, if you guys have, so say if player 1 has characters still active on his battleground, but player 2 has no active characters on their battleground, that would mean that player 1 gets to take one of player 2's hoods. So, alright, now we have the refresh stage. So now both players draw cards, so they have 5 total in their hand. So if you have played cards, so in your hand you don't have 5 anymore. In the refresh stage, you have to pick up cards so you have 5 in your hand again. Now you may discard any. So after you have picked up your 5 cards, now you may discard any unwanted cards from your hand. So if you have cards that you think will be useless, you can put them in your discard pile. Now the turn goes back to player 1's placing stage and the game continues. So then it goes back to the placing stage. And you win the game when the other player has no more hoods, or the other player has no way to defend their hoods. So so the game will continue in this pattern until one of the players has no hoods, or they cannot pay to defend their hood, so they can't get a character out to defend their hood. So that's how the game plays. And the next step of this rules breakdown, I'm going to do the conjurers, but that will be in a separate video because I don't know how long I've done of this video. So that'll be it for this one. There'll be the conjurers half coming up very soon. Thanks a lot, guys, and bye bye.